Welcome to another exciting episode of Cars with Big Boy Trav. Today, we have something amazing, including something from the French Republic, something called the Duster. I don't know, we're gonna find out. But first things first, let's check out the news. Welcome to Cars with Big Boy Trav News. Today I'm with a special guest, my good friend Mr. Maqbul. Cheers, Baba. Karibu sana to the show.
Thank you.
We jump straight in, we dive inside to the first item of the show.
Yes.
Now, 2 days ago, Land Rover just posted a picture of a rendering of what would be the Defender 2020. And I can tell you there's a lot of comments on social.
Yeah.
Do you like it? What are your thoughts on it?
I saw it. It looks nice.
Yes.
It looks like it's come of age.
Yes.
But do remember, we are people of age. We're
Yes.
history, heritage, and all these amazing things. Tradition.
Yes.
Tradition. It has a tradition of being one of the toughest cars. It has a tradition of being one of the cars that can scale a wall up and down.
Yes.
In terms of the looks, they've lost us. Let's just be honest.
Yes.
It looks very futuristic. It looks beautiful.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. Absolutely beautiful. But it's another car altogether. Hopefully, they maintain the spirit of the car. Same as what Mercedes did with G-Wagon.
Yes.
They maintained that spirit. At least you can look at the G-Wagon and think, it's still the same. It's still that battle car, it's still that hard, tough car.
Guys, remember, now Land Rover are actually trying to get input from so many people because the final design I think will be approved at some point in the year for production. And like you said, let's wait and see if the spirit will be in, because remember we have loyal Land Rover Defender customers who love the edginess, the boxiness,
Exactly.
the hinges that are outside,
Yeah.
etc. That made that car what it is. But remember again also for Land Rover, they were actually trying to build another vehicle that will last 70 years. So in as far as the design perspective is concerned,
Yeah.
maybe they took that into consideration.
Exactly.
We can't say much for now until we test it. So until October when it's being launched, we'll tell you all about the Defender 2020. Moving on, Duster. Last week we talked about the Duster on the show. What are your thoughts on it? Because you've driven the Duster extensively. What are your thoughts on it?
I drove the old one and we had a lot of fun with it, especially driving out to Kisumu with Murigi and the likes of
Yes.
those chaps. It was so much fun because it's a driver's car. When I say a driver's car, it means it brings back the fun of driving. Of late, a lot of cars are coming out futuristic. It's all about the car protecting you. It's all
Yes.
about the car driving itself. It's all about the car monitoring itself. That's well and good. It's good to drive. But you want to drive a car. You want to feel like you're in command. You want to switch gears. And that's the spirit of the Duster that we have.
Yes.
The previous one was amazing. Now this one, they upped the technology just a little bit, but still maintain that spirit of the Duster. So you can do your off-road. You can do your school runs.
Yes.
You can do your dog wash at the back and all these amazing things. But still, look good in it. I love the facelift, especially the lights at the front. Very fantastic. If I'm not wrong, it will be another car of the year.
Guys,
If I'm not wrong.
do you agree or disagree with my good friend's sentiments? Please send us your thoughts and comments as seen on social media under below. And the test is coming soon, right after this break. Jaguar XE. Now, this particular car has been engineered. Remember that it was a benchmark. They used the BMW 3 Series, which is a benchmark in the compact executive saloon segment. And unfortunately, the trajectory has now shifted from saloons to crossovers and SUVs.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, they're trying to just enhance its looks because they've invested so much in that particular product. Do you think it's worth it for us to start talking again about saloons?
I don't want to put them down in terms of vision, because they do have the SUV, they have the bigger SUV, they have the electric one as well. So they're thinking forward. But I think this one is just at the wrong time, first of all, because a lot of SUVs are being launched at the moment, and then it's just a reaction to the 3 Series, which was launched last month, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So it's just a reaction to that, and the old one was fantastic. It was amazing, but we hadn't explored as much as we needed to explore in that particular car. Now they've upped it. It looks slightly the same. I can't wait to drive it. Maybe it'll feel the same, but I think Jag need to spend a bit more time on the SUV edge. Spend a bit more time, look at a bit more futuristic, because Jag is a badge as big as Land Rover. Jag is a badge as big as Mercedes in terms of history, in terms of tradition. But of late, just taken a sit back, if I may be politically correct. But I can't wait to drive it. It looks good. It looks good, but I can't wait to try it.
So I've been told that this particular car will be in town by Q2, which is in a few months' time, and we might just have an electric hybrid version coming soon as well, depending on the infrastructure that the local dealer has. Now, it's time.
It is time.
What are we reviewing right next?
The Duster. It's here. You've seen it. Let's test it.
Step inside the Phase 3 Duster and you can see Renault have done a lot of work to ensure that the Duster now meets the standards that are now being set in the crossover segment. Remember, it's very competitive. You have the likes of the Volkswagen T-Roc, which is coming very soon. You have the Nissan Qashqai and so much more. So this particular car actually has to compete with that high level of quality. So speaking of that, the dashboard now is soft touch. The previous Duster was a bit hard and plasticky, but this one, it's more rounded, more edged to attract a larger audience, including the ladies who love these crossover vehicles. Again, on the center console you can see the use of circular air vents and the rectangular box just to give it that butch look, because remember, in the space that it's fighting on, a lot of rivals are doing impressive things, including the Ford EcoSport. Now the highlight of this center console as well, as always, is this color and touch display system over here that houses the climate control, audio system and navigation that works in Kenya, which is very, very important. And below it you do have your park sensors, the 360 camera, your eco mode, which is very important during traffic, and of course you do have your hazards. Again, just below it you do have 3 circular knobs that control the climate control, which is very important. Very stylish. It looks like you are driving something very German and sophisticated. So in between you do have a screen, and around it you can toggle and move around the knobs just to make sure that you have the right temperature setting for the cabin. Of course you do have a section where you can put your, if you are a smoker, cigarette lighter, of course, and you do have a space where you can put your mobile phone as well. The gear shift lever over here is quite comfortable. It's a bit tall simply because of the design and construction, which is okay, and you do have cruise control settings right here below the handbrake so that you can control cruise control. Remember, when you're driving a long distances, average speed is very, very important. Now this car sits 5 people. If you look at the design of these seats, guys, this looks like a German brand. Comfortable white stitched leather, perforated. Where can you get that on a crossover? Where? Tell me where. So this has really made the Renault Duster become one of the most value-add vehicles within the crossover market. And of course, big boy is quite comfortable. Headroom is good. Legroom is good, obviously over here. At the back as well, you do have plenty of space. Remember, the previous Duster used to feel like you're sitting on a bench. Now you feel quite comfortable, and of course the bench seat is gone, and now you have comfortable sculpted seats that allows you to enjoy good head and leg room for a moderate distance or journey. Also, it has ISOFIX anchorage to anchor your car seat, your baby car seat, so that your baby remains strapped at all times. Remember, you do not encourage babies or kids to be at the front because the airbag is a dangerous weapon. At the boot space as well, you do have plenty of space. You do have plenty of tie-down hooks and 12-volt sockets to power from anything from your refrigerator to your tire pressure indicator, you name it, that thing has it. So we're going to move at the back and see much more about the Duster. Okay, so the boot, it is massive, as you can see. An average size suitcase would fit in, and then you got plenty of spaces. You do have a section where you have your jack and spare wheel items, and of course you do have a light just to illuminate the area. You do have 12-volt socket as well, and a flip down seat where you can actually lie down the seats at the front, and 3-point safety belt, which is very important for the middle passenger, so everybody is safe in the Duster. So we're going to take it around, do it off-road, on-road, and then give you a value for money proposition if this car suits your pocket. Guys, we are in the interior of this particular car, the Toyota Fortuner. Remember, we've talked about the history of this particular car. It used to be called the 4Runner, and then at some point it changed again. It became the SAF SSR, which was a very favorite model for me in the late 90s. So this has just been a transformation of some sort, an evolution to this extent. It is still based on the Hilux, so there's plenty of features that it shares with the Hilux, but again, some differentiate it again from the Hilux. Let's start with the dashboard. As you can see here, it's a different design. The dashboard is not too inwardly faced, so it creates an illusion of space. Okay, and then you can see here in the middle center console, you do have a screen which is similar to the Hilux. If you take a closer look, but it sits flush within the whole setup, so it doesn't look like it's a tablet style. It's just like a black finish screen. It's an 8-inch. It houses the radio, Bluetooth, and USB functionality. So just behind the gear shift lever, you do have two buttons. So you have eco mode and power mode. Now in city traffic, you do want to press the eco mode because this system allows the vehicle configuration to be set in a way that is very efficient. So you have less fuel coming into the injectors, and as well the gear shift system. It doesn't hang on to the lower gears. It allows you to shift faster to the higher gears for better fuel efficiency. But if you want power and raw power and torque, then the power mode hangs on. The system now changes the dynamics of the vehicle. You can actually feel the gear shift now hanging in longer for the lower gears for more power and torque delivery, and as well the throttle response is sharper so that you're able to accelerate faster and overtake this vehicle and give you that satisfaction. And of course, you can also use paddle shifters in this particular model, which I found it interesting. The paddle doesn't have paddle shifter, but this one has, so you can actually literally, in conjunction with the gearbox that is now on sport mode, you can actually shift up and down with ease using these particular shifters. At the back, you do have ESP stability control. In Toyota term, it's called vehicle stability control, so it's very good. You can switch it off during off-road excursions because of sleeping, and of course you have a diff lock, which is very important when you get stuck on follow. So you want one wheel to control the traction of the rest, then you switch on diff lock, and voila, you are out. Guys, it's a beautiful day out here in Nairobi, and we are sampling the brand new Renault Duster, guys. This is the third generation, and we are privileged to be the first to sample it in Kenya. This story started in Paris a few months ago when Mirigi and I went to the Paris Motorshow, and they launched this particular car for the Kenyan market. Now, it's changed. Remember, the first edition of the Duster was hardy and it was rough and tough. Now it's been refined, just like a diamond. It's been refined in such a way that now it has more soft touch plastics. The design is easy on the eye, the looks, everything about it is just changed, and still retains its core DNA of toughness, efficiency, and reliability. Now up front, it's powered by a 1.2-liter turbo petrol engine producing 130 horsepower and 240 Newton meters of torque. Now all that power is sent to either the 4 or 2 wheels, courtesy of a 6-speed automatic. You can, in some markets, you can get 6-speed manual, but in this one it's an automatic. This particular Duster Phase 3 has now ample safety kit. You do have active safety program, including cross traffic alert, blind spot assist, which can switch on and off in case it gets irritating on you. And of course, if all hell breaks loose, then you can rely on the dual airbags over here, and then of course the safety belt, which is a primary safety system in the car. So guys, we've tested the Duster Phase 3, and I can tell you it has good value for money proposition. With prices starting at Kenya shillings 3.1 million, you can hardly ignore this particular offering courtesy of Renault. If we make that decision, what are the key rivals of this product?
At this class and at this price point, we are looking at the Mitsubishi ASX, the Suzuki Vitara, the Nissan Kicks, and the Volkswagen T-Roc,
which is coming soon, by the way, guys. So within that class, that crossover class, there's so much competition. Everybody's trying to outdo each other. You can see even the Duster now is up there with the big boys. Guys, send us your thoughts and comments as seen on the social media handles below, and tell us, would you pick this over the rivals? Welcome to the 2018 Paris International Motor Show. This is the biggest motor show in Europe with numbers close to 1.5 million people visiting every year. Right behind me is the Duster. Now this particular Duster now has a badge of the Dacia Duster, but Dacia is part of the Renault Nissan Mitsubishi alliance, and it's made in Romania, but in Europe it is marketed as a Dacia Duster. What do you think about that, Mwigi?
As in, this is now a complete and total facelift. As in, the old Duster was a very nice car to drive, not necessarily a very nice car to look at. This one, they've gone all out. As in, now this is why I feel it's important that we're in France, because now you can see they've let that French design come through. As in, you're seeing those daytime running lights, you can see the curves, the way that the front is looking. Now they've done a complete refresh of the inside and the outside. On the interior now, new switch gear, new dashboard. The car looks finally as good as it feels to drive.
A lot of stuff is being bought from the Kaja into this particular model. How much is it going to cost?
Well, I think most likely, looking at the old Duster, had prices in the range between 2.5 million and 3.3 million. So I'm going to say probably we're looking at prices starting below 3 million, probably going up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll find out from Jonathan.
All right.
Yeah.
Switching on. Next thing is the Kaja. Now the Kaja has been in the market since about 2016 and it looks good. It was the first vehicle out of the new design language courtesy of Renault. It's got that swooping line. It's a V-motive design on the dash, and actually it shares a platform with the Nissan Qashqai, which is a sister. Now this particular one that we've seen here, what are the subtle changes you've seen on this car?
Well, the only changes they've done, it's a really light facelift. Like, it's nowhere as crazy as what they've done with the Duster. So they've just changed a few of the elements on the bumper, and then on the interior they've just cleared up now the interior dashboard cluster, just made it a little easier to use. So this is just this is what I'd call a refresh, not entirely doing a complete new thing altogether. This is just looking at what are the customers been saying about the Kaja over the past few years. Kaja is a beautiful car, it's a beautiful platform, everything is okay, so they're just touching up one or two things just to make it look a little more special.
Now, who are the rivals of this Kaja in the Kenyan market?
Well, I mean, in the Kenyan market, you'll be looking at, for a small SUV, of course, there's a Nissan Qashqai. It's within the family, but that's not how they're playing it in Kenya at the moment.
Yes.
And then I'd say maybe the Mitsubishi ASX. And then maybe, if they bring it next year, the Suzuki Vitara.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, we've just seen that the T-Roc has been launched here in Paris, which is also Volkswagen's not copy, but way of demonstrating that they can also play in the same league as the Qashqai. So it's getting exciting, guys. Very, very exciting. Now we're going to move right away. I know this product is not coming to Kenya, but this is the Renault Alaskan. It is a sister to the Navara, which hasn't been launched yet in Kenya. What are your thoughts?
This whole idea of French design, I didn't get it until we came here.
Yes.
Because like when you're walking in the streets, you can see that the French really like how things look. It's very important to them that things look and feel amazing. And you can see that with the Alaskan. I mean, it actually looks really cool. Like I wish you could have this, even if it's just a facelift that guys do. But these are very, very cool looking car. A lot of attention around it. You've not even been able to take a photo of the car without people milling around it. That's been the same thing that's been happening around this motor show. It's really quite fantastic.
Jonathan, if you're listening, please, let's have the Alaskan coming, and we'll ask you, why is the Alaskan not here in Kenya? Because this one looks good. It's got sunroof. I've never seen a double cab with a sunroof.
Yeah.
I mean, all the creature comforts. It looks like you're driving a Koleos, but it's it's a pickup and it's practical enough. So we can't wait to see that as well. So guys, at the back you can see the Fortuner is quite spacious. Even big boy drive can fit with space. But if you want better practicality, then you can unfold the second row seat quite easily. So check this out. You just unhook it, and this part again, put it down. It latches on the floor. The second one, then you just lock and then pull the toggle. This one, and this one, and voila! We do have a second row seat suitable for kids. And of course, the first row seat, you can sit 3 adults. Check out the video and see how comfortable each person is within that particular seat. You do have quite some space here for your luggage, so you can do some shopping, some groceries, whatever it is that you may need carrying the Fortuner. This particular car has it. So guys, it's time. Let's go off-road and find out if this particular car is as capable as the competition. We are just about to embark on an off-road segment, and I'm now a passenger, so I'll be talking about the comfort of the vehicle rather than the off-road experience. Again, remember, people who are buying these particular cars are people who love a mix of work and play. So today we are on expansive earthy plains, just something this brand new Toyota Fortuner. As you can tell here, you're on a Maram surface, and it doesn't feel as if it's like a pickup, you know. The suspension is tuned to absorb all the road imperfections. Actually, in the front, you do have double wishbones, which are standard, and at the back, you do have a 5-link multi-link suspension with coil springs, which is very different.
Yeah, no leaf
springs. So it gives this particular car a different feel when you're going off-road, and that is a positive thing to the passengers because now they're comfortable, not thrown around like, you know, stuff at the back. How do you feel about the 4x4 system?
I mean, we've just put it into 4 high.
Yes.
Completely unnecessary, yes. But just to see how it responds.
Yes.
And I mean, the power is really good.
Yes, it is.
This engine is very delightful. I'm not feeling any turbo lag. I put my foot down, and as you can see, almost immediately, you're thrown into the back of your seat. Yeah,
you can feel the whole 415 Newton meters of torque.
Yep, 174 horsepower or 130 kilowatts of power, and you can feel it. You can feel it. But the delivery is also very smooth. I put it into power mode.
Yes.
So it's responding to every input I'm giving it. The other thing I have to say is I'm liking the control weights, like the steering wheel, lock to lock.
Yes.
It actually has a very nice turning circle.
Yes.
The accelerator is very responsive. Let me just switch into manual and see what it's all about. Wow. Pretty good, very responsive. Like you mentioned, this is a full automatic, so it's not a CVT. So full automatic with a torque converter.
So guys, we've tested the Toyota Fortuner across the earthy plains, and I can tell you, it is durable, it is tough, and has absolute value for money. Now, prices start at Kenya shilling 6.8 million, but before you make that decision whether you're going to pick this car or not, who are the key rivals, Mr. Murigi?
In this segment, that is SUVs that are based on pickups, the key rivals for this car are the Mitsubishi Pajero Sport and the Ford Everest. But before the year ends, we're going to see the Nissan Pathfinder in the market. So it's a very wide range of cars within around the same price range, around 7 million. So it's really up to guys to think about what they want and let us know on our social media channels.
Remember, also Toyota gives this car 300,000 kilometer warranty, whichever comes first, and you can rely on Toyota's genuine backup and service across the Toyota Kenya network. Guys, it's been an honor being part of this show. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, comments, or queries, as usual, please holla on the social media handles below, and we'll respond to you as soon as we can. Signing out, this is Big Boy Trev.
This is Murigi. Drive safe
and be safe.